Topic number 2 of today. Assassin's Creed confirms that remakes are on the way. Not sure how everyone's feeling about this. I said
Remake 2 and Black Flag, and we're good. I don't care about anything else.
don't care about anything else. Okay, well since you started,
Jesus,
w-
this
w-
man jumped in.
yeah, Jubei is definitely gonna lead off this topic. But
Yep.
yeah, Ubisoft has come out and said that they're working on some Assassin's Creed remakes. I was asked how I felt about this over the weekend on the gaming circle, and I made it known off the jump that I am a fan of remakes on games that are over 20 years old. I am not the selfish gamer that thinks like, oh, remakes are bad because I understand that generations have gone by and that hopefully there's a new batch of gamers who are now playing games who haven't experienced the same games that I had a chance to experience, and
Right.
a remake is there for them. It's not always for every remake is not for me, and I understand
Mm-hmm.
that. And I'm not gonna be mad every time a remake gets announced. I just hope it's a quality remake, and that I'm able to enjoy conversations with new groups of people who played the game. But yeah, Jubei, since you decided to be so passionate, jump in. What are your thoughts?
Um, my favorite Assassin's Creed game is 2. So
Okay.
if we talking remakes, while I would love to see one remade, and then by not remastered but remade, like stop doing like all these weird tailing missions, flesh that shit out. There's some really good things in one that I
Yeah.
wish that they elaborated on. But like, okay, I need
Do
you to remake
Altair
one,
just
two,
the
and
whole
Black Flag.
trilogy, the original
I
trilogy,
mean,
would be good.
I don't know how you remake 3 besides making the intro not be like 9 hours long. Like,
Ah,
oh,
man.
growing up
That's
as a
that
kid,
that is that is the whole point of a
being stuck
remake
in a
and not a
village.
I
remaster.
mean, you were part of a tribe, man. You gotta know the struggle was real for the natives.
So
The
wait, wait,
struggle
wait, wait,
was real,
wait.
but I didn't have to sit through like 10 hours of struggle though.
The beautiful part about
That's not what I
remakes
signed up
is
for.
that they are remakes, and you can remake them uh, and correct things that were kind of wrong originally.
That's hoping that they realize that that was the problem
So,
with their game.
um, but yeah. Any other thoughts on the Assassin's Creed, or did I cut you off?
Uh, no, I mean,
All right.
how how the new Assassin's Creed comes out is also going to have me feeling like, okay, if they do remake these old games, like, are we going to be getting more of this Odyssey like type, or are we going to get something else?
I
That's what I was
Honestly,
curious about. Like,
they need to remake Unity for real, because that was just
Uh,
before its time. Like,
yeah. I
hardware was not keeping up.
I will say
Yeah.
this. As much as I'm a fan of them doing, remakes, at anything over 20 years, I'm cool with. I will say I do think it's time for Ubisoft to find that new IP. I'm not saying it has to be a big budget AAA, but they need to find a new IP that maybe they can grow into a AAA experience. Um, 'Cause
they
it's
even at the very least, like you, if you get back to what these games were originally, like you can make something out of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like it doesn't have to be Assassin's Creed, but like you definitely were cooking something with like the first couple games with
yeah,
Desmond and the Animus and all this other type of stuff, which
Cooking.
got thrown by the wayside at this point. And so, like, you have an opportunity to build upon the world that you started, do something different with it, do something interesting.
yeah,
I agree with you. Um,
yeah,
it's just all dependent on what they want and how they want to work it.
yeah. Because
Mhm.
Ubisoft is starting to feel a little bit stale to me personally. I would like to see them venture out a little bit more. I know that Skull and Bones was a failure. Trying to get that up and running, but I want to see them. As one of the largest publishers in the industry, I do want to see some new things. Um,
Yep.
Zero, what are your thoughts on these Assassin's Creed remakes?
The hugest Assassin's Creed fan. Although, admittedly, like, there is a point I do just sort of want to go back and play them. Black Flag. I stopped at Brotherhood.
Okay,
I haven't played, and to me, I had an absolute blast with Brotherhood. Um, if they manage to bring that back somehow, sign me all the way up. I'm here for
I
it.
feel like everyone has an Assassin's Creed game that they love. Like
Yeah,
they were good. That's a good It's a good solid franchise that I feel like most people partook
yeah, and to the point where it's like me not being a fan is not me saying they're bad games. I just don't occasionally have a lot of time to put into them. I just
in.
much rather do something else. Um, but I think if I'm going to use God of War as the example, but not what I'm specifically trying to say. But if they God of War this and really drastically shift how the original games play, then I think there can be something interesting there.
Yeah, sure.
These games were at the time stealth games. It was all about that espionage sort of, but it was about stealth, hiding in crowds, jumping in hail bins, doing all this other type of stuff. Um, if we can get back to that and really focus on like that stealth aspect, I think that could be something interesting. That could be the Splinter Cell that everybody's looking for. Where we're really hiding in
Plain.
uh in plain
Yeah.
sight in Europe, and slow it down a bit, maybe make the fights a bit more meaningful. Um Definitely, I think you take please do the reverse open world approach where you do the Yakuza approach. You make a small world that just feels really big,
Yeah,
as opposed to a big world that feels empty.
yeah,
Like more lively.
yeah. Like
Make the
Yes,
as I
lively
said,
towns.
yeah,
I said more than ever. Open world
like
is the best worst thing to happen to game.
yeah. If
Yep.
you're in like 16th century France and you're in sort of this medium town where you can actually go into the church and talk to people and come out and maneuver through all these insides in the buildings, which is what you would do as an assassin in this time, or in whatever weird world they want to make it. Get back, get to that point. I think pull away from the newer Assassin's Creeds, and what it gives you the opportunity to is gauge interest.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to break the bank on a remake and or remaster, but
Mhm.
if you do one that seems pretty good by just switching up the formula, giving people something different, you gauge interest for the next quote unquote mainline Assassin's Creed game, which could shift the whole formula and it won't do exactly what you want, Pharaoh, but it will change it up enough for people to be like, this is kind of new now.
Yeah,
Like, we've basically started all over again. So I'm not upset with it. I can see it, and I agree with you, Pharaoh. I'm not upset with most remake and or remasters, particularly if they're 20 something years ago. Like, the first Assassin's Creed was on PS2,
Xbox 360,
Xbox
PS3.
360.
Yep.
so PS3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it is actually like 23. We looked it up the other like
Yeah,
23 years
I
old.
mean, a whole swath of gamers have been born and now are adults with disposable income.
Yeah,
So like, and they probably never play. Why would they play it? Quite frankly, like, they probably don't hold up very well.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I got my own list of games that should be if we're talking about full-fledged remakes, I have a list of games because that not only old players probably haven't played, but the new players can get the stories for. As much see the thing about Black Hat Flag is surprisingly one of my favorite Assassin's Creed because even though it stand out, it was a really good pirate game.
Yeah.
It was really good for its time and actually is better than Skull and Bones. It's funny how people play Skull and Bones and people are like, yeah, just go play Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You'll have a better experience. It's really sad on Ubisoft's part that one of their oldest games is better than Skull and Bones, and it's not even a full-fledged pirate game. It's more so, well, it is. It's a Assassin's pirate game. So, but games like Assassin's Creed Chronicles, which took place in China, that was a 2D side scroller that a lot of people didn't play because again, it was a 2D side scroller. I think that should get a remake and become 3D. You have Assassin's Creed Rogue, which was the one assassin that actually went back to the Templars. I realized he said that assassins were bad. He got betrayed. that is a story that I haven't seen that game on console. I've seen a couple people play it on PC, but I have not seen a lot of people play it on console. So Assassin's Creed Rogue would be a good remake to tell that story for people. Another Assassin's Creed I think that can besides Assassin's Creed Liberation, Assassin's Creed Rogue, or not Assassin's Creed, I'm sorry, Assassin's Creed Liberations is actually a PSP game. I'm thinking some people played it, not a lot of people play it, but this one was the Assassin's Creed during the slave trade. This was a black female who was an assassin. She was a really good character.
Has there
People
been
forgot about her.
slave Assassin's Creed game? And I don't mean it in that way, but
Assassin's Creed Liberations. That was it.
Huh.
You were playing as a female black assassin. Everyone forgot about her. It was on the PlayStation.
No, I didn't forget.
Yeah, because
Jube didn't forget.
They made big.
Oh, it's that one. Oh, okay.
And as a matter of fact, he actually had a cross appearance in Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, you got the bonuses for the different dresses you were wearing at the time.
People forget how many Assassin's Creeds have been made. They've been not all of them have been the big AAA ones. They've made smaller Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so like they have a bunch of smaller Assassin's Creed stories that can go off of. That's why I'm saying like the one woman in China, the Assassin's Creed Chronicles, everyone forgot about that because that was a 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
That they can make that 3D, do that Assassin's Creed character some justice. Assassin's Creed Liberation was stuck on mobile. I mean, you could play it on PC, but let's face it, a lot of people even though we have a lot of PC gamers, let's breathe some new life to Assassin's Creed Liberations. Now is probably not as a better time more than anything else. I mean, black women are showing their power. They showed they could do something. You can remake that game. Black Flag, as much as I love it, I would love to see a remake of it just to see modern graphics, to see more fleshed out towns. And at the same time, though, I did play it recently, and Assassin's Creed Black Flag still holds up. So part of me wants it, but part of me understands why I don't get it. The only thing I will say is if they need to bring back Assassin's Creed multiplayer. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that was some of the fun I like to have where you get to play around as a townsperson or play around as an assassin and you have to hunt people down. I would love to see that come back because that was a fun thing to do.
I'll take Assassin's Creed multiplayer if they stop freaking microtransactions to death in the single player.
I don't know if Ubisoft could ever do it.
I will take that trade-off. Any day.
I don't know if Ubisoft could ever do it.
Oh my god!
If the multiplayer took off in a way where it wasn't locked into one title and they had to make a new multiplayer every time, like it was kind of like a Call of Duty Warzone type thing, or something like that, or like a GTA Online where it's kind of separate from the mainline title.
They could make it separate. They it's weird because they do have we have so many different assassins.
Yeah, like
many.
If they could attach each of the worlds that they made, from all the Assassin's Creed, and like they just add one at a time. I think
create a simulation world where like, hey, we wonder what will happen if Altair was a face against Desmond, or have Edwards from Black Flags face against damn, I really forgot. Actually, no, Black Flag had two assassins because of DLC. The black guy who was his right-hand man eventually became his own assassin.
And like
he had a machete and everything.
And then, even like team-based co-op missions, like that'd be cool. Like,
bring back Unity then. Just bring back Unity. But they, like I said, I have my three were the Liberations, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and Assassin's Creed Chronicles, because those are three side stories that a lot of people don't know about. It will be great to make remakes of those games, so that way those games can get the proper vision on consoles that they should have gotten.
All right.
So,
and there's a lot of noise in the community about a Splinter Cell remake. How are we feeling about that? Like, do we feel like maybe like Splinter Cell is not as big as to them as it is to us because we're just not getting. We haven't been
Yeah,
getting any type of anything regarding
yeah,
that title.
100%, 100% yes. What is the other game I keep harping on? Like, it's not as big as people wanted to make it out to be, and I'll never believe. And inevitably, I feel like I've been vindicated because like it didn't come out, but the multiplayer mode from The Last of Us, Factions.
Yeah,
Everybody was like, "Oh,
Oh,
Factions is coming! Like, we need Factions back." You wasn't. Nobody played Factions, bro. What are we talking about? Like,
people did.
some
People,
of you people played Factions.
yeah.
hey, there's a
Like,
somebody made a dedicated server just for
I'll
factions.
say people.
listen, yeah, people like it. I know they played it. I'm just saying we're not gonna sit up here and pretend in a world where Halo was king that people were checking for factions. We weren't. Like, and to insist otherwise is to lie. It is just to lie. And we've all loved a multiplayer game that like just didn't hit. You know, God of War Ascension. I no, it was God of War 3. 3 had a multiplayer mode. Bring it back, please. I'll do anything to play that mode again, man. I'll do anything. But I'm not gonna sit and pretend that like people were checking for that mode. So just like God of War, just like Factions, and just like Splinter Cell, I firmly believe people like have very fond memories of Splinter Cell,
Mhm.
but like they wasn't people anybody checking for that game like that. Like they're just not, bro.
I
It's
just
not happening.
I just find it hilarious how I brought up Splinter Cell and somehow it leaked back into Sony's failure in multiplayer, which is kind of like what the last
Mean to
episode.
do it that way. It's just the one thing. Like, it's
They
I don't know, man. It
specialize.
always like it's always it's quite frankly. Well, it's still a Sony game.
Sony specializes in failing at multiplayer. Like let's just admit it. Like they have a horrible history with multiplayer. They have more nostalgia for their multiplayer than actual success for their multiplayer. So,
I don't doubt that. R.I.P. to Fat Princess, one of the greatest games they've ever made. Um, but no, man. Like, I just don't think Sam Fisher is that popular.
well, we got to
Like
remember also, Tom. I believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, but Splinter Cell was Xbox exclusive, so it didn't really get for a while. It didn't get that that third party push to where it was everywhere and people got a chance to really had a chance to build up a massive base. They were locked into one platform, a platform that was extremely successful, but it didn't have its maximum penetration market.
And you know what? Because you said that, Pharaoh, it made me rethink my thought that I just thought, and perhaps I'm looking at this in not the proper way. Um, perhaps no, people aren't really checking for Splinter Cell, but in what 2002, 2004, whenever the games were out,
Yeah, it was
like
big.
maybe that was okay. Remember, like this is of the era where games didn't have to do $1 billion
Yeah,
to be the next thing. So like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell did respectively fine, I assume, because they made like 80 of these
yeah,
games.
they made like a ton of them. Yeah, I know they did good.
Yeah,
I know they did good for the time, but
yeah.
maybe
And
not as
so it's
good as
like,
Assassin's Creed.
yeah. So it's like, well, if I adjust my perspective and look at it in that way, then people still not checking for this game. But I do like the era of just letting games come out that don't have to shatter records and have million player counts at all times. Like
Yeah.
I love the idea that if a Splinter Cell did come out, it's just a cool little game, man. Make a good
So
amount of money and then be gone.
now there is one game from the old Xbox era that I would like to be remade that I don't think anyone talks about. But it's
Burnout?
no, it's actually not
Uh,
Burnout. It's from one of my favorite universes
Viva
that got
Pinata?
that no, it got neglected over the years. Yobi said that it made 32 million in sales during the Xbox 360 era. So yeah, extremely successful.
Extremely
Um,
successful.
but yeah,
Listen,
for some reason
I,
it just gets
I,
ignored. I
I can be
want
wrong. Yeah, I could be
I,
wrong.
I I want the game back, but I'm just saying in in Ubisoft's eyes, they don't look at it uh with the same love that
By the
we do.
Tasmanian Tiger.
But no, the franchise that I really want to see come back and I want to see the story continue is the Chronicles of Riddick. I want to see that continue through video games. I like the movies. I like the game. The game that they made was fire for the time. I would like to see that be remade and then continue. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see another like Riddick movie where Ben Diesel old ass. I want to just kind of continue. He can voice the character. That's one I want to.
You know, it's sad. It will probably never happen.
It probably won't,
Um,
but Riddick is such a fantastic character, and the universe fits perfectly for video.
I have no doubt about it. I imagine like most stuff, like a lot of this is tied to the movies, and I looked it up. Universal Studio makes them, so if you're asking Universal Studios to lend out a license to a video game starring Vin Diesel, they're going to pick Fast and Furious every single time.
Oh my god.
Fast,
They did make a Fast and Furious game.
Fast and
Everyone
Furious,
forgot about it.
yeah, Fast and Furious will not sell. I think the only time Fast and Furious sold well is when it was paired with Forza
Paul Walker.
for the Forza DLC. And,
I can't even. What would that even be? Is it just their cars?
I don't know, but they did have
Cars jumping from space.
Because
No,
aren't
but
their
they
cars already in the game
They did
for the
have
most part?
Yeah, but they had a Forza. They had a Fast and Furious Forza DLC for Horizon. I think it was Horizon 4, right? Am I right, G-Bay? Was it Horizon 4 or Horizon
Yes,
3?
yes, it was.
Okay.
No, it was Horizon 3.
Okay. I know it was Horizon 3 or 4 that they had
Yeah,
they had the Fast and Furious
for
DLC,
sure.
and that's the only like Fast and Furious that sold well on video games. But yeah, nobody wants to see. I think people are worn out for Fast and Furious a little bit.
Calm down now. Well,
I
hold on. Calm down. Hold on.
think people are a little bit worn
Easy.
out.
Easy.
I'm all about family. You know how I get
Easy.
down, Daryl.
Family fast cars.
Fast cars, Coronas.
All about fam.
And Coronas.
I'm all about family and Coronas. You know how I get down. But yeah, so I don't think anyone else has anything to say regarding the Ubisoft and remakes general topic. We can jump into our final topic of today. And I think it's kind of the biggest topic kind of hit the net over the week while we were out. And that is Xbox and Amazon agreed to a partnership to bring Xbox Cloud Gaming to Amazon Cubes and Fire Stick. I actually think this is brilliant because they canceled the Keystone and now they don't have